Hello everyone. Now, what do we have here? We have a game on Clam Blitz Mincemeat, where we're watching the Stringer. Now, something to note about Stringer. When the weapon first came out, it was compared a lot to Chargers, in the sense that everyone's like, "Oh, go for the one shot and all that stuff." Here's the thing, though. From playing the weapon myself and from talking with other Stringers, I've seen that it's more comparable to a rapid blaster in the sense that you're not trying to go for one shots or direct or any of that stuff. You're more going for chip damage and trying to zone people out. So, knowing that, let's see how this Stringer plays. Let's see their kit. LDE's fine. What is it called? Thermal ink. I don't know about thermal ink. I don't look at Stringer builds all too often. It should be fine. I can see the reasoning. After this, I can probably just check Sendao. The Inksaver sub. I'm not going to comment on it too much. Maybe they like the, what is it? The sub. Was that a proper time for you to turn or? No, not really. Hold on. Let's see what happened here. So what you did, you labeled this fight as a win for your teammates. Looking at pure numbers, yeah, but what you're offering is crossfire. When you stop shooting, your teammates don't have crossfire anymore. They're all shooting from the front. Granted, your teammates still should have won this, in my opinion, and shouldn't have died. But that's not what happened. I think you still wanted to look to the left. And let's see what this 52 is gonna do. They're still not dead. 52 is still not dead. Oh, I know they are dead. Never mind. I also want to mention the sploosh went all the way to the left, and you kind of ignored that. There is a route. Okay, let's see if you react to the fact that the sploosh is a ball. Not really, in my opinion. I mean, you did react to it a little bit, but if I notice that sploosh had a ball, that kind of means I need to go back to basket, or else they're gonna jump through that a little gap and just score. Granted, all they're gonna do is just get one ball in, so maybe you don't really care. But they don't have to score, in my opinion. You don't have to let them score. So then why let them score if you don't have to do it? Anyways, you're going for here. I am not 100% with that spot over there. Let's see what was going on here. Because I think you would have gotten sniped. Yeah, okay, the Charger had enough range to to snipe you. Every time you're out here, like, I know you got the kill. Let's go back more. Yeah, let's see. So you're over here. Charger should know that you're looking at them. Okay. Okay, so you've just... I still don't like being out there as a weapon that doesn't have as much range as a Charger. That's more or less asking to die. Asking to get sniped. And while you got away with it, I think a better Charger wouldn't have let themselves get killed like that. Now, I should have mentioned, this is the Tri-Stringer's good game. And so far, I think that, yeah, this spot, they're going for what I said before, that you shouldn't be trying to go for direct all the time. You should be going for chip damage. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Here, they have no chance of getting direct, but here, what they're doing instead is applying chip damage. And that's very useful. Look, like, they help with the Charger, and there you go. They help their team in that fight. They go in, they try to score, and they do score. Yeah, okay. Oh, what? Okay. That was pretty weird. I don't think you considered the fact that respawns were happening. Whenever you wipe the enemy team, you have to be very aware of respawns. You killed a sploosh up in close range. That should not have happened, but it did, so we'll just let that slide. Okay, that was kind of laggy. Like, I don't think diving in for the close range kill is a good idea. Because what you do is, uh, what is it? So, the only bow that can really do it is reflux. And even still, I don't like it. Um, Tri-Stringer can't do the thing where it can one-shot if it gets like a close range tap shot. Yeah, it can't do that. Or close range partial. Reflex can, but even still, if you're a Tri-Stringer, you want to be flexing your range as much as possible. Think of it like this. The 52 is a better weapon than you in like a straight up fight. If you both have if you both can shoot each other, that 52 has more killing power than you. Therefore, they're going to win. But you don't have to take that kind of fight. Instead, you can be farther back and you can have a situation where you can shoot the 52, but they can't shoot at you. Therefore, you're pretty much 100% guaranteed to, at the very least, not lose the fight, but very likely win the fight. That's why you want to try to stay. If you have a range superiority, you want to try to flex that range superiority. Because if you're close, because what is it? Closer you are, the more likely the enemy can shoot you. And why take a risk of letting the enemy shoot you when you can just shoot them for free? There you go. They didn't really expect that. You really do have a habit of diving in close range to people. Is there someone on the left? Why didn't the sploosh throw their hammer at you? That's such a big mistake. Oh, well, you do get the charger. Let's see. From here, I think you should push up. Ooh, nice. Well done. Yeah, you're just... From being over here? Yeah, okay, good. You saw the charger could shoot you. You wailed them. And there you go. You killed him for daring to threaten you. I think the whale was okay, actually. The whale was pretty good. Like, even if the whale didn't kill the charger, I think if you just shot the charger as well, that would have been the final nail in the coffin. There you go. Help your team. Good. You helped your team out with that kill. And although they traded, at least they didn't die for nothing. I think you're being a bit too close right here. You don't need to be over here. Look, they right here, that 52 should be able to shoot you. Let's see if they do. They do shoot you, but you back off. There are many opportunities where you're letting the enemy get too... Okay, there are many times where you're letting the enemy get too close. And if you do that, what they're going to do is just shoot you. And that makes me wonder, is that what's going to happen in the bad game? The reason why I do these good games, bad games, is because in the good... Like, the only difference between a good game and a bad game with most of these is how many fights the guy was able to win, or how many fights whoever were watching was able to win, how accurate they are, or whatever, how many kills they got. Yeah, this is a weird spot. If you do end up having to take a fight like this, I think it's a good idea to be directly below the charger, because it's really hard to look at someone like below you. You just can't do it. But the best thing to do would just be to leave. And you try. And I think you played it fairly alright, considering you were in a pretty bad spot. Now what you're doing here, you don't need to be holding your shot, to be honest. You shouldn't really be trying to go for... I wouldn't go for a full shot. I'd just be trying to chip the... I'd just be shooting my shots, trying to chip the end zap until I actually get him. Because look here, look what you're doing. By not doing that, you allow the end zap to have free range of, their side. If you were to shoot him, this is sort of like an exploit technique. You shoot the guy. You don't... Okay. And with Expel, you can't one-shot them. Like, if they're full health, there is no one-shotting. But what happens if you get a direct is you hit them with the explosion, and because, the explosion, they're stuck in your ink, which means they can't move, which means you get to hit them again because, they can't move. That's the same thing happens with blasters. You shoot them, they you paint their feet. Specifically, this happens a lot with rapid blasters. And then, because they can't move, it makes it so that they can be hit again and then again, as many times as you need. Probably 2 or 3. With Tri-Stringer, you can do the same thing. You lob shots, you hope one of them hits, and it doesn't really matter if like the first one hits. Just do it again. Just keep doing it until they get stuck in your ink, and then once they're stuck in your ink, they're a lot easier to hit. Whereas here, you didn't shoot them at all, so you had pretty much 0 chance of hitting them. Let's see. Nice shot. You go and grab this ball. I think you want to try to push him with the crab, but the crab was, I'm gonna be honest, they got a bit afraid when they really shouldn't have. Whatever. You go in. Oh, sad. It doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of does, but not too much. Oh, they missed. They missed. Ah, sad. Let's see. In case you're wondering with the map, the team we're watching is at the top. Let's see. Tactical, that's a pretty good spot to look at. You go here. Well, at least you didn't die to them. Did you have a clam? I don't think you had a clam. So even if they killed you, they still wouldn't have made a ball. So here's my thing. When you see an enemy is in a spot that you can't really hit all too well, the stringer has the advantage of being able to lob their shot. Because, their shots go forward or go straight, and they go down. So you can hit over cover. This isn't, but even still, another thing you can do is, especially with with really any weapon that you outrange, and because you're a stringer, you outrange a lot of weapons, you don't want to be going towards them. When you're in a fight, you want to be backing away from them, so that if they try to rush you, you basically create more distance, and it takes longer for them to get to you, which means you have more time to shoot them pretty much and try to get that kill. But now let's look at the bad game. Play. Alright, that is an interesting comp. That is a very Rushdowny comp. I think a lot of I wonder if your little antics of, what is it? Getting closer to the enemy and going for like the close range tap shots might get you killed here. One thing I should say, you took a bit too long to get up to here. I think you're a bit indecisive where you wanted to go. Like, if I were to do this, I run straight to here. I would typically get here in about like 8 seconds. Not 8 seconds, maybe like 5 or 6 seconds. Because through that, I'd have time to shoot right up at that little enemy spinner, or anywhere else I really want to. If you can clear their spinner, spinner being, the thing that spins, the block that we were looking right in front of, that will go up and down, the little bridge. Then you can, at the very least, try to fish for a kill. But what you'll also be able to do is you'll be able to deny the enemy snipe. Granted, I don't think the enemy would really be using snipe all too much because they're short range, but it is a good habit to have. You saw someone was at your flank. You weren't right, but I do like the idea of trying to protect yourself. I think it's a good habit to see like, oh, there was something, there was movement on my left. I'm gonna turn to it, and look at it. Even though you were wrong and there wasn't anyone, I still do like the habit. So good on that. It's good to not ignore vital information. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Like there are people who just ignore vital information, even at like uh, even like some competitive players. A lot of competitive players do that. Let's see. Now was not the time to grab, but okay. Considering they're an all short range comp, they're probably gonna. Oh, they killed you with bombs. Yeah, they can do that too. Let's see. I wonder. So knowing that here's one thing. So what you see, you don't know where anyone is. Okay, you know where your teammates are. You know they're on the left. So you can assume that a fight's happening on the left. You go to snipe though. That's a pretty general safe idea. I think what might have been good there would have been to throw a toxic mist. Now it ended up being fine. Your teammates ended up taking them out. But I think because you were charging a shot, you were also making it easier to hit. While throwing a toxic mist would be a very easy way to just, what is it like? Cripple the enemy while keeping your movement, your evasiveness. I assume you're painting for special? Yeah, you probably are. So, okay, I will say two things. If you're painting for special, okay, that's fine. You probably should have completely gotten your special, but that's fine. If you're painting base just to paint base, you don't need to do that. There's no point to painting your base in a ranked match or in a ranked game mode. In fact, it can be detrimental. Because if the enemies push up to your spawn, you lose places for you to safely grab a special. So by taking that or painting that already, that means the only place you can get special is where the enemy is shooting. And if you go to where the enemy is shooting, you have a risk of dying, which means that you might just lose special, and then your pushback gets delayed. Someone's on the left. Did you see that? I think you noticed it. Okay. Okay, you notice. Okay. You run because someone by you died and said ouch. You have no choice but take this fight. You panic, pop special. How much of it do you keep? Huh. That's interesting. Even though you pop your special, you still kept half. Still kept half. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Didn't know that. Let's see. Pop yours because you know the enemy's gonna be pushing. Yeah, you were forced to go into a pretty bad spot. And your teammates take him out. That's fine. Now is not the time to grab. Now is... Because you don't know who's around here. Yeah, okay. You might die here. You do die here. So let's look at the progress what you did when you grabbed. Like what you... in terms of like progress. You brought the Rainmaker from this point to... like... from deep in your base to a little less deep in your base. That is not worth your life. When you grab the Rainmaker, you grab it because you're planning on pushing out. Here, I can tell you were planning on pushing out, but you also didn't know where the enemy was, which meant if you were to just hold forward, which is what's happening right now, you were very likely to get ambushed, which is what's happening right now. The only safe thing, if you were to grab it, would be to jump into the void so that, or jump off the map so that it appears in mid. The best thing to do would be to not grab it and try to win the fight. The reason being that if you grab the Rainmaker, you reveal your position. It's not the best fighter. It's actually just not a good fighter. It's very good at pressuring, but not a very good fighter. You'd rather have your bow for the fight. Oh. Yeah, they had Ninja Squid. Okay. Yeah, in order to prevent that, in order to prevent getting rushed by Ninja Squid, you want to make sure that you're painting in front of you. Because if you don't, that happens. Yeah, because if you don't, then you basically give the enemy a free path towards you, and they can shoot you, just like what happened. That is a crab. I don't think you noticed. Now you did. But when he first jumped out, I don't think you expected crab to be there. To be fair, I wouldn't have either. That's kind of funny. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so you notice the fight's going to be happening on the right. Someone's on the left, and you do realize that. Good. Yeah, okay. You had no idea there was anyone there. You shot there just because. And look at that. You painted them. You revealed them. That's good. It's good when you playing bow. It's good to just spam some shots. Just see what you get. Or stringer. I should specify tri-stringer. What is it called? Reflux plays completely different. That's kind of weird. Okay. What are they doing? Yeah, you have no choice but to follow them. You want to make sure they don't get murdered. I will mention, they've appeared at the ledge for a... They've tried, like, ledge killing you, I guess I'll call it that, for a... often. At that point, I probably would have thought, like, hey... Yeah, okay, so... Whenever you're pushing, you're really just not covering your bases. You're letting the enemy roll all over you because you're just pushing in and just not covering everything. No, no. This is not the time to paint base. This is the time to just dive in. You need to dive in. No. Go in, help your team. It has been... Okay, I want to ask this one thing. It has been 10 seconds, and what have you done for the team at those last 10 seconds? Nothing. The paint you covered wasn't relevant to the fight. And when it's at the last 10 seconds, everything you need to do needs to be immediately relevant to the fight. I know you were trying to get special so they could pop at the enemy, but you didn't have that luxury. You had to go to the enemy, and you had to try to pop it, and you had to try to basically go for a quad. That's kind of what you needed at that point. So, in terms of some problems, I think the most major one, though, we saw a lot of problems, but it's not a good idea to try to solve all of them. Granted, it's not abnormal to see a ton of problems, but at the same time, it's you need to try to, you gotta focus on one thing at a time. So, I'm gonna give you a bit of homework, like I do for everyone. So, one major thing I noticed is when you're taking fights, you had a tendency to just... No, not even jump, just do this. That is not a good way to kill. And that's a 4-shot, that takes a long time. Okay, so... No, but you wouldn't shoot them like this. I think you try to go as close as you could. Which would be like this. That would be a 2-shot. Possibly a 3-shot. Okay, but that's not the point. Well, that is kind of the point. I don't want you to be going in like this anymore. Whenever enemy rushes you. Let's say this is an enemy. These two enemies. Let's say this one's an enemy and that one's just a dummy. When they rush you, don't try to go over here. Because here, they will probably see your ink trail. As you get like higher and higher in ranked, they'll see your ink trail and they'll just shoot you. And if they start shooting you here, well, one, you're dead. If they miss and give you a chance to shoot, which they really shouldn't, you take at most 4 shots, assuming you don't miss. At least, I think it's 2 shot minimum. Yeah, even if all shots hit, it's still a 2 shot. It's better, instead of risking that, to just go back, and you don't even need to jump, just... Yeah, okay. They're more likely to be at this speed, so I'm gonna do this. Here. It's better to do that, so that you buy yourself more time. Whenever you're fighting a... whenever you have a longer range weapon, you always want to try to... You want to try to play at your max range. The reason being that if you outplay it at a range where you can hit your enemy, but the enemy can't hit you, you're pretty much guaranteed to not lose the fight. Like, let's say the enemy had to be at this distance to hit me, or to kill me. Well, if I do my best to maintain my distance, then let's say they're moving now. They never got in range to hit me. I was I was pretty safe. Granted, you won't have to always like be at that range. Be at this range, be at that range. Your max range is like pretty far. It's like that. So ideally you'd be taking a fight like this. So in terms of actual like things that you can actually like use, usable information, usable advice, when you go into a game, do your best to try to be as far away from your target as possible. If it means that you're a bit too far away, I mean, yeah, go forward a little bit. It's fine to be like not at the very tippy edge of your range, but try to avoid engaging enemies like this, or even at like half range. It's inevitable that people will like be in your be in your face. But if that happens, as I said, go back so that you can try to create more distance and buy yourself more time. So again, next time you go into a game, try to be as far away from your enemies as possible. Like as I said, you can't always do that, but do your best. And that should buy you more time to hit more shots and allow you to win more fights. Now, that'll be it for today. See you guys.